College in 1999. Can we get a big round of applause for rounding third? And give yourselves a round of applause for coming out and supporting local comedy tonight. Really appreciate it. Yeah, so a little bit about myself. I'm kind of entrepreneurial. So I started the school. I do a few other things. I was raised by my dad. That's a pretty unique experience. And so anyways, you're out to see your friends tonight. One of the biggest fears there is public speaking, right? So now we're going to try to take it to a whole nother level. So you're going to show them some love tonight? All right, cool, very cool. So I started in 99, and since then I've had a lot of students go on and do some pretty big things. We just had a guy by the name of Nate Bargatze. And he just hosted Saturday Night Live, and he tours the country and fills stadiums. So yeah, it can happen. Do you think it's going to happen with your friends? Yeah! Yeah, I love these guys. That's great. Let's hear you guys over here. So I started in 1999, and some of these guys are buying big houses now, Beverly Hills, and, Nashville. Somebody just bought a huge home in Nashville, and I'm not going to lie to you, it's been really good to me, too, and I live in a super upscale neighborhood myself. I live in West Dallas. Lincoln Manor, the Lincoln Manor trailer park, yeah, I got that. Double wide. No, that's the dream, man. I'm a comedian. Come on. That's like the ultimate dream. Yeah, so, I was raised by my dad, which is kind of unique. Did anybody else have that experience? All right. This is gonna be a long 5 minutes. I was raised by my dad, and he always had these interesting sayings like, powder and paint make a woman what she ain't. And I'm like, what is that? I guess it's false advertising or something. But I was thinking nowadays, what's today's equivalent, right? Botox, tummy tucks, fake booties, fake boobies. Makes some dudes pretty hot cuties. And if you squint like you're looking on a star, Caitlyn Jenner looks good from far. And if you laughed at that joke, you need to get woke, okay? Okay? Now you're a little confused by that, right? Now you know how a transgender person feels sometimes, right? So if you laughed at that joke, maybe you'll be lucky and RuPaul will give you a poke. They didn't like that one in Chicago Monday night either. I thought it was them. I guess it's me. What can I say? Has anybody seen us? Actually, we have a police officer, ex-police officer in the crowd. He took the classes before, and his name's Eric and stuff. Can we give him a round of applause for him? And me and Eric were talking about this when he was walking in. They're going to sell advertising on the sides of police cars. And I'm sure guys like Gruber and that can't wait to buy that stuff. It only makes sense, right? You're down on the ground, get your phone out, But I'm thinking someday these guys are going to be like NASCAR drivers. It's going to be like, this broad shoulder shirt was made possible by Levi's. This powerful handgun was made possible by Colt, the fine manufacturer of American handguns. And this fat booty was made possible by Dunkin' Donuts. And then there's another line right down there. You want to take a comedy class? Call Jim Rauth. Yeah. Thank you very much. Anybody following the Jeffrey Epstein case? By applause, who's not familiar with Jeffrey Epstein? Okay, it's just an awkward subject, I guess, huh? Is that what it is? All right, so everybody was waiting for this list. He's the billionaire pedophile guy, killed himself in a jail cell in New York City, that guy, right? So everybody's waiting for this list to come out to see how many famous connections and stuff was on there. It was kind of a letdown, right? It was nothing really, you know. It kind of was like, remember, anybody old enough to remember when Geraldo Rivera opened it was supposed to be Capone. I see a head shaking there. Al Capone's safe, and there was nothing in it. I guess that's kind of the equivalent. But yeah, I'm always looking. I'm a news guy. I love news. And so I was going through the list. This was interesting. I found their menu. And they actually had a drink on there. And it had Oxycontin in it. It had hydrocodone. And it had Vicodin in it. They called it a Pill Cosby. You guys are a sick crowd. I'm going to tell you that. You guys are sick. Yeah, so I've been seeing my family physician a lot ever since I became a senior. Any seniors in the crowd? Any boomers? Okay, there's a couple of us. Oh my God, this is going to be a long night for me. So yeah, I really think my family physician really likes me because every time I see him, he wants to give me a prostate exam. And it was kind of awkward this last time because we were at the mall and Victoria's Secrets. Let's just hope that B can keep a secret. That's all I'm saying. All right. So, okay, that's my time tonight. And so we got a huge lineup for you. We got some warm-up acts. Everybody that's here tonight, the warm-up acts have all graduated at the Comedy College. And they'll be up in just a moment. But I want to give a shout-out to each of the people that are performing tonight. Did Mikey make it in? Yes. All right, Mikey. Give Mikey a round of applause. Let's give Andrea a round of applause. Hello. Rich Ballard. Hello. Rich Ballard. I don't know, big crowd. Susie. Bob Coakley. Chatterton and Raina. All right, so you guys all ready for your first warm-up act? This guy's a former graduate. He's a hot guy around town right now locally. Put your hands together for Timmy Tatum.
He makes some noise for Jim. I wasn't raised by my dad, but I was listening to him. My dad named me, though. He named me Temi Tayo. That's a Nigerian name. It means, son, I love you. You bring joy to the family. Thank you. And my father heard me do stand-up comedy, and he was like, you should probably change your name. I'm a really big Bucks fan. Yeah, Bucks. My favorite guy right now is Thanasis Antetokounmpo. I'd love to see him. Like, it doesn't matter if we're up 50 or if we're down 50. Thanasis is like, fuck it, we ball. Thanasis steps on the court, NBA court, and he treats it like an LA Fitness. It's my favorite thing to watch. Every time I see him play, I'm like, that's what I would look like versus NBA talent. Obviously, it was Super Tuesday. Or actually, before that, I want to bring up, in 2020, there was a black man named Zeb Powell that won gold at the X Games for snowboarding. He was the first African American to ever win that award. Yeah. Which means we saw a black man become president twice before we saw a black man be good at snowboarding. And I remember watching it and I was like, man, I really love the way sports is going today, like how diverse it is. Until like this past February, I saw a white man win the dunk contest. 5'10" white man named Mac McClung beat a 6'7" black guy named Jalen Brown. At the end of the competition, he went to the cameras. He was like, "It's over. It's over." He was talking about Black History Month. Black History Month has always been like just like a weird concept for me to get behind, like to understand. I know why we have it. I know why it's important, but the concept of it is weird. Like ever since I was little, I would be in school and the teacher would be like, February 1st, now we're celebrating African American culture. Timmy Tayo, we're celebrating you. I got to be like line leader and whatnot, and she got my name right. Then like March 1st would come around, and like I walk into school and they're like ripping down posters. I get to the front of the line, they're like, "Jamal, we're over with that black shit." Super Tuesday just passed. Woo! Yeah, it's an important. Back up. This is my first time paying attention to the election. I know I'm 30 years old, but I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. And, Jehovah's Witnesses don't believe in holidays. They don't believe in premarital sex. That's why I'm not a Jehovah's Witness anymore. And they don't believe in voting, like they don't believe in politics. So this is my first time paying attention to the election. Trump or Biden, Biden or Trump, Trump or Biden. I'm like, I'll just go back to being a Jehovah's Witness. I cannot fuck for 4 more years if these are options. Speaking of not fucking, me and my girlfriend just moved in together. I'm really excited. She is here. She's right back. I'm really, thanks so much, my girlfriend. She knows this set better than I do. But she's Indian, so like I'm excited to smell our dinners 3 blocks before I make it home. I had to hire 2 sets of movers. One set to move her stuff in and one set to move my stuff out. She changed a concerning amount of things in my apartment. And it was like concerning because she made it better. How was I surviving without her? I feel like my apartment before, like a homeless man would have walked in and be like, "No, this shelter isn't done yet. Call me back when you get some sheets." I started this game. I was like, "Babe, for every piece of furniture that I have to throw away, you should give me a blowjob." She was like, "Deal." But I was living as a single man. I only had 2 pieces of furniture. Better than nothing. I'm in a relationship, obviously, and we moved in together. Things are going good. I'm 30. I'm older. I'm a lot more mature now. This next joke I'm gonna say is not something I'm proud of, but in my early 20s, I lived a wild life, maybe. I was a cheater. That's all I'm trying to say. I cheated. I'm not proud of it. It's not something that I would brag about. But like, I didn't know that I would have PTSD myself as a cheater. It's now like in this relationship, I haven't done anything. But every time she has my phone and I get a random Snapchat, I just start packing my bags. Because every man knows, like, that's how that works. It doesn't matter how long you've been faithful or how faithful you are. There's some girl that you used to talk to like 6 years ago is gonna hit you like, "Hey, you still like to get your dick sucked from the back?" Make some noise for the comics. Make some noise for yourself. We're getting back to gym. We're in for a great night.
Give it up for Timmy Tayo! Boy, he really changed since we left the church. Oh my God. I don't know. I'm praying for you, brother. All right, we're going to keep it going. This guy and I literally go back like 24 years. He took my second class. He's like a brother to me. He's the man, the myth, the legend. Put your hands together for Muncie! Hello. All right. How you doing? Yeah, I thought I'd start out with a little Elvis. Y'all like Elvis, right? All right. All right. Oh, by the way, any people over here? How you doing? Woo! All right, here we go. Little Elvis. Takes a little longer. I'm getting kind of old. I'm older than he was. Aren't we all? All right, here we go. Did you ever notice that Elvis had that kind of sneer? You know, he was kind of like, he was kind of like. And women love that. I mean, you loved it, didn't you? Yeah, you probably still do, right? All right. But not everybody can pull that off. I mean, I do that. I look like Igor, you know. I'm like, here you go, master. Here's the potion. You're nothing but a hound dog. Crying all the time. Oh, wait. Yeah, okay. Back to Elvis. You ever notice that whenever I got women that think I'm attractive, it's because they think I'm a lesbian? I don't know. I play some softball. Of course, I wear a strap on them and I play it. Okay, back to Elvis, little Elvis. A one for the money, a two for the show. I was ready to get right now, go cats go, but don't you step on my blue suede shoes. You can do anything but lay off my blue suede shoes.
I said the one for the money, the two for the show. There you ready now, go cats go.
Yes. And that wasn't even the punchline. That was a little Elvis for you. And now, my impression of Mick Jagger. I met a Gentuck barroom queen in Memphis. She tried to take me upstairs for a ride. And now my impression of JFK doing that song. I met a Gentuck barroom queen in Memphis. She tried to take me upstairs for a ride. She had to heave me across her shoulders. Because I just, boom! Oh. Well, you know, what can I say? You can't change history. Well, anyway.
Anybody here ever try hypnotism? For anything like yeah. I did once. I tried. Back when I quit smoking, I went to the guy, and I swear to God, I paid this money, and I guess it was supposed to be a couple of weeks, but like 2 months later, I was still smoking. I knew that wouldn't work. And I tell that to him every Tuesday when I come over to his house to clean his basement and his garage and give him his foot massage. Oh, yeah. So, I guess you could pretty much tell I'm not exactly a teenager. Although I may act like it. Only when No, I'm 63 years old. And, what? No? You can keep arguing with me all you want. But unfortunately, I am. And, my mother, she's 85 years old. She called me up the other day to tell me that it's time I should start acting my age. So I went into cardiac arrest. Oh, yeah. But, I don't really mind so much. The only problems I have with getting older are when I got to put on my reading glasses just to watch porn. I tell you, I just can't ever seem to find the right woman, ever. And, like this one girlfriend I had, we got along really well for a long time, and then suddenly we couldn't agree on anything. We couldn't even agree on what condoms to use during sex. I liked the ribbed ones, the lubricated ones, the ribbed, and she liked the ones that were attached to other guys. I'm not fussy or anything. It's just, sometimes you just, it's hard to find, it's not hard to find a pretty woman. I mean, this room is pretty good example of that. And it's not hard to find a smart woman. But it is hard to find a woman who's both smart and intelligent and has a Mickey Rooney fetish. I'll tell you, I blamed everything on my parents. See, I actually for a time thought that I had been adopted. And you think that's funny? No, I thought I was adopted. It was like, it got so bad. I asked my dad, I said, Dad, was I adopted? And my dad just looked at me and he said, No, you're not adopted. That's my time. Thank you very much.
The myth, the legend! You're all on Facebook Live. Say hi to who's ever watching. Yeah! All right, so we go way back. Muncie and I, we actually met before the comedy school. Me and my wife were kind of a modern couple, we picked him up. We thought he was a lesbian. And all right, this next guy is going places. Muncie, how can we help you? Did you lose your hearing aid? No, I'm kidding. He needs one, but. All right, let's keep it going. This guy's a very funny man. He's also a comedy college graduate. Put your hands together for Stan Dabrowski. All right, thanks everybody. It's good to see everybody tonight.
coming in. Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. I got to meet some really cool people. I met the Rich fan club out there. Crazy stuff. Rich has merch. There's a couple of people that'll probably sell their shirts right off their back if you like them that much. So no, it's great to be out here. It's March, right? The seasons are changing. We got March Madness kicking off really soon. Yeah, hey, thanks. That's giving up for March Madness, right? So we got March Madness kicking off, and we got Lent coming, right? Or we're in Lent. But we got that other season that starts too. St. Patrick's Day. That's not the one I'm talking about. I'm talking about Girl Scout cookie season. Right? We're in the midst of Girl Scout cookie season. Those cute, adorable, despicable cult members. They're everywhere. You can't go anywhere without hearing those words. Would you like to buy some cookies? And I can't say no. Look at me. Right? I can't say no. I see them at Walmart. And so I see them at one door, so I think I'm going to go through the other door, right? And guess what? They're there. 3 more boxes of cookies, right? And so I go the next time I go and I see them at Walmart. So I go, you know what? I'm going to pretend I don't speak English. Right? So I walk up to them, and I'm all confident on this too, right? I mean, I'm walking up there. They're going, excuse me, sir, would you like to buy some cookies? And I froze. And I went, no English. And apparently, these Girl Scouts must have had a badge in foreign language. Because she went, the mints. 3 more boxes of cookies. 3 more boxes of cookies. The Girl Scouts have been helping to make diabetics since 1917. They really have. And I'm living proof of that, trust me. So the next time I see them, you know what? I go, I'm going to pretend I'm deaf. And again, I walk up all confident, and I'm like, this screams immigrant, and they didn't fall for it last time. So I walk up there, and I'm like, she's like, would you like to buy some cookies? I went, and you know what? Apparently, this Girl Scout must have had a badge in sign language. Because she gave me one of her own. She gave me one of her own. So the final time, you know what I said? I said, I'm just going to run. I'm just going to run. And I don't look fast, and I'm not. They caught me pretty easy. And that was 3 more boxes of cookies. So as you can tell, I'm a big fan of the Girl Scout cookies. But my wife, she also likes to buy Girl Scout cookies, right? Because she can't say no to cookies, at least. Right? I'm going to let that one sink in for a little bit. All the guys are laughing. They get it. So she can't say no either. So she buys these cookies, and one day she comes home and she goes, where'd the Thin Mints go? And I'm like, I thought they were fair game, By the way, Thin Mints do not make you thin, and I'm just going to give you that profile. Right? They do not make you thin. But have you ever seen them set up for this Girl Scout cookie sale extravaganza they have everywhere you go? You've seen them set up. They pull up that van right there, right? And they open those back doors, and they're pulling table after table after table, and box after box after box, and crates of cookies, and they set them up. And all of a sudden, the side door opens, right? And there's Girl Scout after Girl Scout after Girl Scout. It's like a frickin' clown car coming out of that thing. And then what do? They try to lure middle-aged men. To their van. With the promise of cookies. I didn't go. My mom taught me better. Right? So, you know where you won't see them selling Girl Scout cookies? At least I never have. In front of Quick Trip. Right? Quick Trip is my favorite Wisconsin restaurant. And it is my favorite Wisconsin grocery store as well. So you can get everything at Quick Trip except Girl Scout cookies. So with that said, that's my time. Thank you. Please support your local Girl Scouts this March season. Buy as many cookies as you can. I don't know where that money goes. All I know is if the government wants to better our healthcare system, they'll limit the amount of places they can sell those cookies. With that said, let's bring up Jim Rauth. Make some noise for Stan the Man Bobrovsky. I was recently in Naples, Florida, and they have a road called Boy Scout Road. And as I rode over it, I was wondering if that road was rode more than the actual Boy Scouts. But I heard the world headquarters was on that street. And that explains why I could smell pubescent ass. We got a little dark there for you, huh, buddy? I heard, oh, wow, okay. All right, so, hey, this guy is, actually, this guy's losing it. You like that one, huh? A little too close to home, or what? Did you like the Cub Scout Master? Is that it? Wow, that's what I keep hearing over here. These guys are losing it. You guys are saying, wow. All right, hey, make some noise for James Gray.
Hola. It's a pretty good crowd in here tonight. Woo! Woo! I want to like you guys, I really do, but I heard the way you clapped for all the names earlier, and y'all didn't clap that hard for me, so fuck all y'all. It's for that reason that I'm going to do this next joke. This next joke is on purpose. I mean it when I say it. Because I try to keep things light. You know, you're just meeting people. And to my knowledge, I haven't met very many of you here. So I just want to keep it nice and light. How many of you guys have been on a XXX site lately? It's weird because, like, porn is so ubiquitous now. But yet nobody watches it. It's funny. So I like to ask this question on the outset. Actually, it's not so much of a question. It's just kind of a statement. But I'm gonna find out how many of you guys like watch porn like I do. I'm a stepfather, y'all. Yeah, I see it. We are woefully misrepresented in the porn world. Shit's not fucking happening, okay? It's got me tripping. It's like, who's directing this? Woody Allen? I love that joke because, like, the people who aren't into porn, they don't understand why I even bring up stepdads, so they go home and Google. And then the people who are into porn don't know much about Woody Allen, so they go home and Google. And either way, you end up having a hell of a Thursday night. No, but I'm a stepfather. And as a stepfather, times sometimes get a little bit hard. You know, it's not easy being a stepfather. And when things get hard, when it's tough, I pray. But I don't pray to who you think I might pray. I don't bother Jesus. I don't pray to Buddha. I don't call on Allah. I pray to the patron saint of stepfathers. I pray to Joseph. Woo. Because Joseph was a hero. He was an absolute hero. Have you ever stopped to think about what it would take to follow up God? You ever thought about what it'd be like to stick with a chick and her baby daddy is the creator of all things? First thing I can can tell you is as a stepfather, one of the first things you want to know is he still in the picture? Well, guess what? He very much is. To the point that when you need something, guess who you gotta go to? Sitting there ending every prayer with an attitude like, hey man. It's not what you think it is. See, the hard part isn't what you think it is, because the hard part is simple things like you would probably think like, what do you do if Mary goes and has a good day, right? She comes home, I went to the market and they threw an extra duck in the bag. Did they? You've been praying again, ain't you? Always on your knees for him. I like that one because it's a little risque. Now, that ain't the hard part. That ain't the hard part. Or the obvious, right? How do you chastise Jesus? Boy, didn't I tell you better? You ain't my daddy. Or, hey, go clean your room. Go to hell. Right? Never mind, I got it. Don't worry. Now, the hard times are what you ain't thought about. I know you ain't thought about it, because I heard you pause when I said the patron saint of stepfathers. Y'all ain't thought about Joseph. Now, the hard times are on a Saturday night. Get to drinking, a little wine going, it's getting romantic, candlelight, a little frankincense. Little myrrh. You know how that wine is. Make the thoughts come out. Tongue gets slippery. Start asking questions that you want the answer to, but you ain't never wanted to ask. But I gotta ask. I gotta ask. Was he bigger than me? You tell the truth. Amen. Thou shalt not bear false witness. And this is a man who stayed in the face of that. Stayed. That's all I know. So when I need some strength, that's who I go to. I don't know who y'all praying to, but you better pick your deities well. All right, they tell me I'm supposed to land on, like, you know, big joke and shit, and I didn't laugh as hard as I wanted you to, so. I'm gonna try because, like, this, you know, it's a comedy college graduation, and I'm gonna try the first joke I ever wrote. Y'all wanna hear the first joke I ever wrote? Yeah! Beautiful. All right. First I'm gonna need a volunteer. Woo! Who was that? Who wooed me? Who's wooing? Well, no, you a comic. Only nigga in here blacker than me. So you know goddamn well I couldn't see you with these lights. Fuck up. All right. Anybody else? Give me somebody. Who was that now? You a comic too, Rich. A non-comic woo. Can I get a non-comic? All right. Well, that's what I'm talking about. No, too late. No, you missed your chance. Ladies first, motherfucker. All right. Let's start with the easy part. What's your name? Ann. All right, Ann. And may I ask what you do for a living? Are you sure? Because you look like you were making it up on the spot. Are you like a C?
I work in Ford. No.
I thought you looked familiar. And away we go. I work in Ford. Hey, I'll do the jokes, thank you. Everybody's a fucking comedian, you know? And the accountant, if that's your real job. Accountant / stepmom / secretary / housekeeper. Anyway, Ann, You seem like the type of woman who, may be familiar with the town. Like, are you familiar with Milwaukee at all? All right, so you've been around the block or two, once or twice, right? All right, so you've lived. Fair to say you've lived. All right. Do you know the difference between a dollar bill and an 18-year-old girl? Neither do I. Do you know what they both have in common, though? Because I messed up the joke when I said the and. Can I try again? Will you allow me that? Gotta be real sharp to do this job, okay? And do you know what a dollar bill and an 18-year-old girl have in common? They are both legal tender. Good night.
All right, make some noise for James. Can I try to do the Bill Cosby joke again? Y'all gave him another chance. A couple of things, couple of quick announcements. If you feel like you want to drink, gotta use the restroom, help the bar out, buy some drinks, feel free to move about. And then we have some improv comedy. Who's familiar with improv? Who's familiar with the TV show Whose Line Is It Anyways? So we have an improv class that is starting here on Tuesday nights. The first night's always free, and it's at 6:30 in this room. So if you want to check that out, and and then the next class it's titled Whose Line Is It Anyway, and it's going to lead into that one. And then you're going to have fun playing a lot of games. Can we get serious for a second? That's long enough. All right. Are you guys all ready to see who you came out to see tonight? All right. You guys, I tell all my students this. I don't know if it's 999 out of 1,000 or 9,999 out of 10,000. See my signs, and the first thing they think is I would never do that in a million years, right? And I always tell my students, trust that inner voice when you see that, when you come in, because you're going to have high nights, you're going to have low nights. The coolest thing about Nate Bargatze is I seen him up in Madison, Wisconsin. Before he really blew up, me and my son went to see him. We had a little lunch. We're walking up the State Street, and Nate turned to me and he goes, Jim, the hardest thing I ever had to do was come do the homework in your class, And he said every week, he took my class in Chicago, and it was on Halsted Street in Chicago. At that time, he said every time I came down Halsted, I always wished that the building was burnt down, and so the cool thing about Nate Bargatze is he pushed through his fears, and he kept pushing through them, and he's still pushing through them because he was really nervous when he was going on SNL. So it never ends when you're in this thing. So, all right, you guys ready for your first act? All right, make some noise for Mikey!
All right. My name is Mikey. A little bit about me. I used to be in the Army. Don't clap, you're not going to like this. So, I don't know if you guys have heard the term military grade, but I'll tell you, that shit does not carry as much weight as you think it does. It's supposed to give you the impression high quality, durable, cutting edge. But after you meet the people that are military grade, you question all that. There was this one guy who would always tell us, y'all can't handle partying where I'm from. Y'all can't hang with us. Okay, where are you from, dude? Southern Mississippi? No, dude, I've seen your parties on the news. You're the guys wearing the bed sheets, lighting the crosses out, chanting about white power. I'm sure that gets crazy. Or there's one guy in basic training, he would sketch naked ladies and sell it for $20 or a candy bar or whatever. But one time we caught him sketching stuff for himself, and it was two My Little Ponies, let's say, breeding. And the more messed up part is so that they wouldn't find it during inspections, he would keep it in his Bible. So the next time you hear military grade, just think about the ponies. But I did learn some valuable lessons in the Army. Like, anything worth doing is worth overdoing, meaning, like, if you decide to do something, you go all in, all the way. So I took that, and I applied it to drinking. Like, I would stop after 6 beers. I totally would. But then I hear the helicopters. Unfortunate Son starts playing in my head. And then I feel like it's my duty as an American to black out. I was also an EMT for a bit. Part of the EMT course, part of the EMT course is doing ride-alongs. I show up to my first ride-along, and the 2 EMTs are smoking cigarettes right outside the ambulance. And I go, whoa. Is smoking not bad for you? Were we lied to the whole time? And they go, no, it's bad for you. It's totally bad for you. But the job is stressful, and this is how we cope. So, okay, cool, whatever. And then we go to our first call. It's to a prison. We show up, and the guy is sitting on a bench, handcuffed to the bench, with his head down, like he's a supervillain. And they go get him. It's all you. So I walk up to him, trying to get his blood pressure and vitals and stuff, and he looks at me and goes, do you want to die today? Shit. No, I'm kind of scared. But what I said was, I can't today, I got plans later. But I'll tell you what, I'll come back here in 5-10 years, depending on your behavior, and maybe we can work something out. He did not like that. He starts lunging at me, telling me he's going to stab me, screaming at me. So we got out of the prison real quick, and as soon as we step out the prison, I go to the EMTs. Let me get one of them cigarettes, brother. I'm 25, so I'm going through a bit of a quarter-life crisis right now. But with the shit I put into my body, it's probably more like a midlife crisis. And I don't know, I haven't been getting into, like, pickleball or golf like a normal middle-aged man. But I've been really getting into dinosaurs lately. Like, I've watched all the Netflix documentaries, watched every Jurassic Park movie in the last 2 weeks. I'm wearing dinosaur earrings right now. So clearly, I'm not doing well. But I have learned some things. Like, if you run into a T-Rex, don't move because he can't see you, because his vision is based on movement. Now, why is that useless piece of information floating around in my head? Yet, I have absolutely no knowledge of stocks, investing, finances. I don't know what a Roth IRA is. I'm too afraid to ask at this point. I meant to learn about stocks and investing and stuff after I watched Wolf of Wall Street. But to my great disappointment, there's not nearly as much cocaine and hookers as I thought there would be. So I gave that up right away. One last thing about dinosaurs. How do they know all the stuff they know just based on fossils and bones? Like, how do they know all that stuff? And then I got to thinking, what would my bones and fossils say about me? Yeah. Like, I just picture in 1,000 years some scientist is digging me up, looking at me on a table going, yeah, it looks like his diet consisted mostly of Chick-fil-A, Coors Light, and weed. Mating opportunities were extremely rare for him. And when they did occur, they were over in 2 to 3 minutes. So, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely getting cremated. That's it for me, guys. Thank you.
Great job. Give it up for Mikey. Hey, Mikey. I'm a pretty good investor, you know. My last name is Rauth. It's spelled a little different. Same difference, right? I'm a pretty good businessman. You know, I hustled these people out of $20 a piece to see amateur comedy. So, got that going for me. We'll talk after the show. I'll get you a whole retirement plan, I promise. All right, we're going to keep it going. You guys ready for a lady? All right, put your hands together for Andrea.
Hey, how's everyone doing? Yeah. Thanks for coming out. I gotta tell you, this experience has been so fun the last couple weeks because when you're doing it, you're like thinking about your life in comedy, right? So even the shit that happens to you that's really bad, you're like, how can I make that funny? It just changes the lens of your life, right? So I've been looking at things and getting kind of like inundated with this thing called cold plunge. Have you heard of this? Yeah, it's like, if you haven't heard of it, it's like 10 to 15 minutes sitting in like an ice, like a bathtub filled with ice and ice water. No thank you. Like, and it's being really propped up by a lot of celebrities. They're like, you gotta do the cold plunge. And it's getting into regular folks, right? Like, I've heard normal people saying like, you gotta do a cold plunge. It's really cool, you gotta do a cold plunge. And I kind of worry about this because, you know, there's all these trends going on with these little kids. They're like looking at it and they're like, I gotta do that, those celebrities are telling me to. In this regard, I'm not as worried about them with a cold plunge, but I'm kind of worried about the elderly, and I'll tell you why. So every day I drive to work. I live by like these running trails, and every day I drive to work, I see this guy, and he is, I want to say like mid-70s, and he is running in the middle of winter, completely topless. He does have a nice hat on and some mittens, you know, to keep his I guess the good parts warm, I don't know. But he's like full out with his nipples and his chest, and he's running. And I'm like, oh my God, I almost got in a car accident the first time I saw this guy. Because it's the middle of fucking winter, you know? Like, you need to have a shirt on. And then I almost pulled over because I was like, is he okay? You know, is he like on Silver Alert or something? Like, I don't know. Like, but then I keep seeing him every day, and I'm very concerned. Like, you know, the impending doom that this might happen for you, like, I might have to save you, right? Yeah, so I gotta say though, like, it doesn't inspire me to do that. I'm like, he might like that, maybe it's working for him, I don't know. But even if I was inspired to, you know, do the cold plunge or the cold run as he is, I don't think it'd go over well, right? Like, I don't think I could, like, take off my top and just go running down the parkway. I don't think that would go over well in our society. I'm not doing that, right? Like, I have really strong feelings about, I grew up in northern Minnesota. I live in Wisconsin. Cold plunge, cold run, it's not for me. I don't believe in it, actually, so I'm not gonna do it. But still, my kids actually came into this idea of, like, you can't go around with your top off earlier than I did. When they were little, I'm not telling that story tonight, but when they were little, they were like very deeply offended that boys and men could walk around without their shirts on. And I get it, because I kind of remember doing that when I was young too, but I kind of got used to it, so it didn't really faze me anymore. But they were like, this is, it's offensive, and they get to do it, and we can't. And actually, my daughter, so I have a 17-year-old daughter, I have a 13-year-old. When my 13-year-old was in 4th grade, they had to write a persuasive essay. And she chose to write hers on how she should be allowed to go topless. She had a male teacher. He told her it was inappropriate and she needed to change her subject. Oh, that made her even more mad. She's still mad. If you ask about that teacher to this day, she has some words. But both her and my older daughter, they will try to convince anybody that they can that, like, men need to put their shirts on. They've screamed to people on the parkway, like, put a shirt on. We're going to start investing in bras and hand them out. I'm like, that seems like a lot. Like, I don't know. But they definitely have changed some minds. My husband and my dad both now are wearing swim shirts. Swim shirts weren't options for us, or not me, but guys, I don't think early on, because they're like a new invention. Both my husband and my dad, they'll like it. They're like, I didn't really like being exposed. I kind of like having the swim shirt, you know? So my girls are really all about, like, you know, we need to free the nipple. And I'll tell you, I'm not against their activism, but I'm kind of like, do we? Because for me, there's bigger dicks to fry. And I kind of think, like, freeing the nipple might just lead to more sexual harassment. I don't think we need that. But my mind was kind of changed because we took a trip to the Dells. And when we went to the Dells, I love going to like water parks where there's wave pools. These wave pools like kind of like, I mean, they just carry you. I love it. And like you get to let go, you get to float. There's a lot of guys at the Dells this day, and those guys had some big ass titties. I mean, big. And for some reason, the wave pool kept trying to push them towards me. And I couldn't escape, you know, and all of a sudden, I was like chest to chest with this double D. And I'm like, oh shit, dude, I wish you would have worn a shirt. Why didn't you wear a shirt? You know, so my opinion on it changed. I'm like kind of moving over to like team anti-male nipple right now. I'd say pro-female nipple, but I don't know. I'm not a prude. I'm not. There's more stories. I'm not going to tell you tonight. But I'm just like, I don't know if I want to see all these nipples running around town. Like, whether it's male or female nipples, I don't know. I just think that maybe it's better late at night, you know, when it's sexy time. So, I don't know. Team anti-male nipple all the way. Who's with me? All right. Thanks so much for coming out.
All right, make some noise. Pro nipple all the way. Yeah. So, hey, do we have any Beto fans here? We got anybody that works for a corporation in the house? Just remember, corporate types, what happens at Rounding Third Comedy College Graduation stays at Comedy College. They're going to be in the office tomorrow going, hey, how was that comedy show? And they're all going to be like, what comedy show? We weren't there. Talk about it before you leave here tonight. All right. Put your hands together. This guy's a good guy. He came from New York. He's living in Milwaukee. He's a transplant. Put your hands together for Beto!
Beautiful Jim. That guy loves to clean gutters. He cleans gutters by day, teaches comedy by night. What a guy. How's everybody doing? Folks, my name is Beto, and I hate my name. That's because people can't get it right. I get everything in the spectrum. Sometimes I get Beto, sometimes I get Beto. My favorite one, Bento. Like, where the fuck is the N coming from? I just hope my coworkers get my name right tomorrow. A little bit about me. I love to learn about new things. Something I learned about recently that I wanted to share with you all. 90% of communication is nonverbal. The majority of you know that? I feel like a lot of people know that. I learned about it recently, but it makes a lot of sense. It happens to us in our daily life when we're walking towards somebody else and we both try to go the same way and you do that awkward little shuffle, or how you just know who should walk into a door first. And it's weird. Sometimes people react to it by laughing a little bit about it or getting a little upset about it. To me, the other day, I was trying to walk into the door as this other guy, and I'm practicing my nonverbals, trying to let him go through. He's not moving, he's just standing there. So I resort to verbally telling him with a big smile on my face, I say, please, sir, after you. And he looks at me and says, get the fuck out of my porch before I call the police. My grandfather does not like me. Let's see, I used to have a very bad acne problem. I tried everything to get rid of it. The only thing that worked for me was this drug called Accutane. Has anybody in the crowd ever taken Accutane? Okay, well, for those of you that don't know about Accutane, extremely powerful drug. You're not allowed to drink a single drop of alcohol while you're on it. No alcohol for many, many months of treatment. It was very difficult for me. It sure made middle school very hard to get through. everybody talks about mental health nowadays, and it's important. I started going to therapy, and I'm speaking to my therapist in one of my recent sessions, and he stops me and he looks at me and he says, "Bento." He says, "Bento, I think you may have trust issues." Obviously, I get a little bit worried. Immediately after leaving, I start Googling, trying to find an accountant to see what's going on with my offshore trust. I think I found a guy that specializes in trust in the Cayman Islands. And I don't know if I should hire him. I just don't know if I trust the guy. It's obviously a joke. I'm not rich. I can't afford therapy. I grew up in the 90s. That meant that I played a lot of Nintendo 64. And my favorite game on the 64 was a GoldenEye game, 007 James Bond game. Maybe some people have played it here. I loved that game so much, I wanted to be like James Bond when I grew up. But now I work in marketing, and hear me out. I started thinking about it, and I kind of achieved my dreams. I'm almost like James Bond, and I'll prove it to you all. First things, James Bond is always around a lot of ladies. 90% of my coworkers are women. What else? James Bond, he's a spy. I do a little bit of spying myself. It's called consumer research. And that's where I go to the grocery store and creepily stare at people while they purchase the goods that I market. What else? James Bond, he is a world traveler. I do a little world traveling myself. The conference rooms at work are named after different countries. Sometimes I'm in China, sometimes I'm in Kazakhstan. And James Bond, he is a very strong, handsome, good-looking guy, very fit. I can sometimes run a mile and my wife thinks I'm a 7. On a good day. Speaking about my wife, I got married 6 months ago. Thank you. And look, I don't know if I believe in reincarnation, but if that was a thing, in another life, my wife would have been an Alaskan Eskimo because she loves to freeze the shit out of everything. It's really annoying, actually. Like, every time I open up the freezer, there's always something random that shouldn't be in there, right? Like frozen brown bananas, frozen rice, frozen chopped up veggies, all these things. Before getting married, the freezer was a place for ice cubes and waffles. And the other day, it got really out of hand. You know, I open up the freezer and there's a candle, like a TJ Maxx size candle. I know I had to confront her about it. So I go up to her, I was like, "What's the deal with the candle in the freezer? I saw it." And she says, "Please don't get mad. It's not what you think. I saw a TikTok, and it says that if you put an old candle in the freezer, it helps slide the old wax off pretty easily." I think that's bullshit. I think she put it in there because the freezer was smelling like shit from everything she had been freezing. Folks, I'm 31. Nobody tells you that your 30s is the age when it's going to be extremely difficult to find new friends. Jim told you all I just moved to the Midwest a couple of months ago. I've struggled finding friends. I've tried it all. I've tried going to bars, meeting new people, taking a stand-up comedy class. No luck. And desperate. So I'm not ashamed to say it. I had to go online, and I saw an ad on Craigslist, and I get messaging with the guy. I text him, and I'm like, hey man, like I just moved to the Midwest, looking for new friends. These are my hobbies. Potentially looking for a best friend. And I think I came off a little bit too strong. Because the guy texts me back, he says, dude, do you want the fucking couch or not? Folks, I'm gonna be taking friendship applications after this. My name is Beto, not Bento. Thank you so much.
All right, we're gonna keep it going. Are there any Rich Ballard fans? One more time, are there any Rich Ballard fans? Make some noise for Rich Ballard.
All right, everyone. Bento, my wife thinks I'm a 7 as well, but on a scale of 30. So. Hey, thanks for everyone coming out tonight. This is great. It's a great experience for everyone. Since we're going to spend 5 minutes together, I'm going to get a little intimate and talk about my upbringing. So I come from very little means, not what you think. And when I was 5 years old, I lived in a single-wide trailer home in Watoma. I know Jim's jealous about that, but Watoma, Wisconsin, and I lived there with my older brother, my mom, and my stepdad. So we were a nuclear family in a trailer home, what you would expect. And in the trailer park, there was gravel roads, trailers discombobulated. They need a planning commission. It was just a mess. And there was a tornado siren on site for the inevitable. You know, the storm's going to happen. So inside the trailer homes, things would happen that you would expect in a trailer park. And I'm going to tell you about one of them. So one day, on a casual Saturday, my mom shot my brother with a starter pistol. So I don't know what the hell we were doing with the starter pistol. It's not like we were running track meets in the park. I don't know. Maybe they give them out when you first become a tenant, you know, so people don't hurt themselves. Know your clientele. But my brother was acting up. My mom took out the gun, and she literally unloaded it on my brother. 6 times. And my brother's rolling around on the floor, yelling, ow, ow, ow. My stepdad, in his favorite lawn chair, is laughing. And I'm 5 years old, I'm freaking out. I'm like, what's going on? But then I thought, this is great. I'm an only child and I get my own bedroom. So, needless to say, 3 weeks later, we're moving. And my mom says, yeah, we're going to a bigger place. This is great. I'm jealous of my friends. They have homes that don't have wheels on them. And every time I got off the school bus, I had this anxiety attack. Like my home wasn't going to be there. So we loaded up the U-Haul and we moved to Red Granite, 15 minutes away. And we're going down this gravel driveway, and it all looks familiar. And I'm looking for that mansion at the end of the road, and there it is, a double-wide trailer home. My mom doubled down on that shit. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it a chance. We go inside, there's 3 bedrooms. That's great. I get my own bedroom. My mom forgot to tell me that she was going to have 4 more kids in like 5 months. Just all over the place. So there's 8 of us in this trailer home. And the logistics are pretty severe, especially for dinner time. But my mom, she's resourceful. She found this wooden picnic table. It was red. It was really cool. Had separate benches. She put padding on the benches, nice tablecloth, and it was really nice because as a family we could sit down and enjoy our tuna helper together. But what really sucked were the flies, the ants, and in winter it was cold as hell. I'm like, Mom, can we take this shit inside? So I'm a little bit older now. I know you can tell. And so I'm playing pickleball. Yes, Mikey. Pickleball. Where's my pickleball fans? Right. So you guys haven't been late in a year either. So pickleball is a great sport, but it has a very precarious name. It doesn't give it justice. It's known as the sport played by octogenarians that are closer to death than birth. It's also known as a sport that's easier than tennis, but slightly harder than laying on the couch. But I'm here to tell you, they're all wrong. I mean, pickleball has a lot of risk associated with it, and there's a potpourri of injuries that happen. So I want to rebrand it. I want to call it something different, like twisted ankle smash ball, or expedited ACL surgery ball. You have to end it in ball. These are real injuries, by the way. Torn Achilles torture ball. These all happened. And me personally, I've experienced fracture ego ball. So speaking of sports, my wife and I were watching a Packer game. They were playing football. By the way, give it up for my wife, 32 years. So we're watching the Packer game in late October, and Matt LaFleur is getting a lot of screen time. And my wife looks at me and goes, "You know, you should part your hair like Matt LaFleur." And I'm like, "Yeah, you know, Matt has a pretty crisp cut." Then I'm like, what she's really saying is, it really sucks you don't look like Matt LaFleur. So, I'm going to end 4 years ago. I'll do the math for you. It was 2020. 4 years ago, almost to the day, I did my first stand-up act on this very stage. Thanks. What happened right after that, everybody knows. One of the most tragic events in the world, in the United States as well. And I'm talking about drive-by birthday parties. So now, 4 years later, we're sitting on the precipice of another disaster about to happen. And I'm not talking about the eventual breakup of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Hey, you Swiftie fans, it's going to happen. I'm talking about the presidential election, and I'm not going to get into either side. But a survey came out 3 weeks ago, and it said a majority of the voters think that both Biden and Trump are mentally unfit to hold a second term. So if you just... one of our survey guys. So if you just unpack that, maybe about a third of the people that took that survey are mentally unfit themselves. Right? And then about a third of them probably couldn't tell the difference between a turnip and a potato. And that's a potato with an E at the end. But the reality of it is, it's really sad. I mean, we have 250 million Americans that can vote. Wait, 253 million if you count the illegal immigrants from last year. And we don't have a candidate on either side that a majority of the voters can get behind. And we have 8 more months of this shit to go through. It's like watching an elderly turtle race, and we're the turtle ranchers that are making this happen. So, as we go through these tragic events, I always reflect back, and I'm very fortunate to have family, immediate family, extended family. They're great. They support you when things happen, and but I'm smart about it. So if things go sideways, I went out and got the best damn starter pistol money can buy in case I have to shoot someone. Yes. Thank you very much.
Rich Bill on. Cool. All right, so this doesn't happen too often. It's happened a couple of times, but it's never happened like this. I've had some moms come in and take the class so their teenage son could do the class, right? I've never had a dad support his daughter and come out and take the class too. And Susie, that's a really cool thing, that's for sure. So make some noise for Susie Coakley!
Susie, you guessed it, I'm 16, still in high school. Don't worry, I wasn't left alone with Muncie. I took this class with my... I took this class with my dad, Bob. Unfortunately, you won't be hearing any jokes about my dad tonight. He made me cut them all on the way here. My mom's here tonight. Yeah, give her a round of applause. I love my mom. I'd say we're pretty close. The only thing about my mom that annoys me is that she loves to tell her friends all about my business. Every mom does. But you know, my older brother and I call her inner circle the Mom Mafia. They know everything and nothing at all. You know, my mom swears that she doesn't tell them everything, but they're all here tonight. Little confused. I love school. I'm a big nerd. You know, I'd say I'm a pretty good student, except I'm not great with feedback. I once had a math teacher tell me I did my multiplication wrong. I kindly responded with 2 times 2 equals FU. Yeah, that was in second grade. Not my proudest moments. I struggle even more with constructive criticism, especially in English class. You know, when my teacher hands back my paper, I like to respond with, Mrs. G, I had no idea your cousin was Merriam-Webster. Did you forget to take your lithium? Yeah, it's gotten so bad that the school psychologist has to grade my papers. I was just trying to give some feedback of my own. It's no surprise that my least favorite class is gym class. You see, athletic is not an adjective people used to describe me. I'm more mathlete than athlete. I don't hit triceps, I hit my trigonometry. I don't have a quad day, I have my quadratic equations. But enough of that, I probably already graphed the photo for you. But outside of school, I work at Sendix. Hope you've all shopped there before. Yeah, you know, people love to overshare at Sendix. Apparently food makes people open up. I had no idea that being a cashier also qualified me as a therapist. I can't eat grapes anymore after a woman told me it looked like her growing tumor. I'm happy to bag your frozen peas, but I didn't need to know about your upcoming vasectomy. 3 letters, TMI. I can help the next person. Being a cashier is like Tinder. You know, people will approach my register and give me their elevator pitch. I'm a good cook, I can bag fast, I can carry all that. And my personal favorite is when they play matchmaker with their grandson. You know, they'll start to list off basketball stats like his height, weight, ability. And I'm like, slow your roll, sir. I'm just here to bag your groceries and calculate your change. The only swiping I want you to do is your credit card. Thank you for shopping at Sendix, your trusted local grocer. I recently got my license, so I'm a new driver. Thank you, yeah, it's a big accomplishment. You know, and being new behind the wheel, I have learned a couple things. First, I hate sitting in traffic. You know, my issue is that I never know where to look. To my left, we have an intimate moment between a man and his Big Mac. And to my right, we have someone digging for gold. Or I could just look straight forward and ponder life's essence. I mean, it happens so often that I started carrying a sign in my car that says, I can see you. Only problem is I got in a little bit of a sticky situation when I flashed my sign at a man making out with his donut. I ended up with a citation, so won't be doing that one again. Thanks, Officer Glaze and Officer Sprinkles. Really appreciated that one. The second thing I learned is that I'm really bad at parking. Cover your ears, Mom and Dad. But I physically cannot stay within the lines. If there was a Guinness Book of World Records for worst parkers, I need 2 spaces. On that note, if any of you park next to a blue Volkswagen Tiguan, bad choice. Sorry about that. Definitely your car. No, so I love watching TV. I'm a certified couch potato. And because of this, I have learned a couple important lessons. Public service announcement. Love is Blind is not about visually impaired love. The Tiger King is not a spin-off of The Lion King. And the worst realization I had is that Orange is the New Black is not a fashion documentary. That was a rough day for me. Last week I was scrolling through Netflix and I came across my recommendations tab. It said, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Intervention, You Are What You Eat. I had no idea that I could get a therapist, dietitian, life coach, all for the price of $10 a month. I started to question the algorithm since I'm mentally stable and all. Like, Netflix, what are you trying to tell me here? But then I saw my dad's recommendations, and it said Dumb and Dumber. So I guess we're not that far off. It's very interesting being the only Gen Z person in a room full of, we got some millennials, Gen X, baby boomers in the back. I'd say we're all very similar, except with technology. I gotta say I'm probably the most tech savvy. We're really only different in how we text. So why don't I give you guys a quick lesson in Gen Z texting. If someone sends you an eggplant emoji, it's not about dinner. If someone says, I'm a stan, I'm a Taylor Swift stan, it's not about our fellow comedian Stan here. It means stalker-like fan. On second thought, maybe it is like Stan. And the word that I use most, bomb. Like, that food was bomb, or that outfit's bomb. Don't confuse it with Bob. There's an M in there. Bomb is something that's really good, unlike how Bob is gonna bomb tonight. That's it for me, guys. I'm probably grounded after that last one. Thank you.
Wow, make some noise for Susie! It's crazy because sometimes you get some students in here that have some really good credentials. And this guy's a producer. Make some noise for the producer of Susie!
Thank you, Jim. Wow, what a great crowd. Thank you all for being here. Really appreciate it. My name is Bob. I'm originally from Boston. Growing up, we were what we would call upper lower class. If you're having trouble placing that, think West Dallas. We didn't have a lot growing up. We bought most of our clothes at Kmart. Anyone here old enough to remember Kmart? Yeah. You young guys, Kmart was like Walmart. Used to shop there with my mom one time. I was about 12. We're looking for jeans, and I found some jeans. Hey, Mom, I found some. That's great, honey. What size are they? 14, just like you said. Oh, Bobby, you're not a 14. You're 14 Husky, honey. Husky jeans are over here. You had to know my mom. Her voice just seemed to carry, right? Now I knew I needed 14 Husky, and so did everybody else, right? Looking back, I didn't realize the free school lunches and the free government cheese was so fattening, but then again, I was only 12, so. So by show of applause, who here ever played house as a kid? Yeah. Pretty common game. We were so poor, we used to play apartment. Yeah. So I was usually the landlord. I would knock on the door, and everyone else would yell back, "Checks in the mail." I'm telling you, when you're a kid, you want to pretend you're an adult, right? That's what you want to do. As a kid, our dentist was a friend of the family. He was a former Army dentist. His dental office was in his house. He really wasn't cut out to be a kid dentist, but my parents didn't seem to care. This one time, my mom says, "Do you think Bobby needs braces?" And he said, "Kathy, he's a boy. I wouldn't waste the money. And let's face it, he's not getting by on looks alone." You know? It turned out to be true, but it didn't hurt any less, okay? I had a dream the other night that I ran a 5K. Yep. Yeah. And I got up in the morning, I had a sore knee, and I walked with a limp for 2 days. At my age, mornings are better when I just dream about food. Okay? But I celebrated a birthday recently. Yeah, thank you. You know, not that I needed another reminder that I'm getting old. My hairline's been keeping me pretty well informed. But my mother-in-law got me a birthday gift this year, which was nice. So as I'm opening the gift, she's like, "I hope I got the right size," which, you know, first red flag. And so I open it up, and it's this beautiful navy blue sweater, size 5X. 5X. Now, okay, some of you are like, "Oh, maybe." No. I'm a 2X. If I had a big breakfast, maybe a 3X. This is a 5X. Did this thing come off a Macy's Thanksgiving Day float? But you know, it's not easy being out of shape. Well, I guess it's easy, but I'm trying to make better food choices. I just bought this stuff the other day. I can't believe it's not butter. You guys ever tried this? Yeah. Well, if you tried it, you know nobody thinks it tastes like butter. But I applaud the naming, and it got me thinking, what if we could all see our lives with this same sort of wonderment of, I can't believe it's not butter, you know? I think Hillary Clinton would say, "I can't believe I'm not president." I think Bill Clinton would say, "I can't believe she wasn't 18. I think Donald Trump would say, "Yeah, I'm going to go there. I can't believe they keep voting for me." And I think Joe Biden would say, "I'm running for president? Who's the president?" No, but this election, it's like Groundhog Day, but it's actually worse than that. It's like they want us to pick. You want Weekend at Bernie's? You want One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest? You know? At this point, I'm voting Forrest Gump. I'm sorry. But, happier topics. We got any single people here tonight? We got any people that want to be single here tonight? So, we got any chubby chasers here tonight? Look, I'm asking for a friend. I'm married. I already found my chubby chaser. You know, in fact, you know, when I met my wife, she said, "Look, I'm just looking for a sugar daddy." She said, "But you are clearly pre-diabetic. This could work." No, but I've been married for 21 years. Which means I'm up for parole in 4 years. So, all you single chubby chasers, I'll see you outside. But my wife and I got in our biggest fight this year, probably last week. I made the rookie mistake. I used the B word. Any of you guys ever do this? No. Yeah, well, that's good. Don't. So, yeah, I'm frustrated, and I just blurted out, "Listen, you better stick to the budget." She did not stick to the budget, and I slept on the couch. Okay? But, you know, despite the occasional disagreement with my wife, my hope for my kids is they find their special someone just like I did, but hopefully with a higher credit score. That's all my time, guys. Thank you very much.
Feeling good, we all feeling good. Get Bob Copeland. All right, let's keep it going. Make some noise for Liz Chatterton. One more time, come on.
How's it going? A lot of laughers in here. Thank God for that.
be honest. I am graduating from the Comedy College today. I wanted to thank someone special about that. I wouldn't have gotten to the Comedy College if I didn't cheat off of Susie for all of comedy high school. Actually, she's a huge nerd, so thank you for that, Susie. Okay, so we have a couple people in here who have some graduates who are friends of theirs or family of theirs from the Comedy College. When your folk that you're here for said, "I'm gonna be doing stand-up now," what was like the first thing that you said? Why is a great, I ask myself that every Thursday, actually, at this exact time. No, there's maybe a different question I'm looking for.
Tell me a joke.
Tell me a joke, right? Or can you tell me a joke? No! I'm not gonna do my little jokes for you. I'm not a monkey, I don't have a little dance. Do you do that with any other profession? Do you do that when you meet, like, a scientist? Show me a little mitosis. Can you please give me a little graduated cylinder? No, we don't do that for them. When someone tells you they're a nurse, do you say, "Be mean to me"? Tell me my symptoms aren't real. No. So let's stop doing that, okay, guys? Just follow me on that. Okay. Something interesting. Who, maybe show of hands or woos, who's ever had problems with a coworker before? Yeah. I know, right? I invited a couple coworkers here today, so this is gonna be tricky. I actually just recently left a job where we could bring our dogs to work every day. Just so much fun. So you guys all know having beef with a coworker. Imagine having beef with your coworker's dog, right? You're like, I don't have good vibes. You'll hear someone in the office be like, "She's a loud ass bitch." It's a poodle. It's nothing more complicated than that. Or like, "He makes me uncomfortable." Chihuahua. I can tell you this by breed. He assaulted me. Everything's fine, guys. He's an unneutered male. It's fine. Although I do have a job in the workforce, this is probably not going to work out for me, so I do have a conventional 9 to 5. I don't like capitalism. And what I really don't like about capitalism is like this whole like hierarchy, you know, like the glass ceiling some of us women know about. But you know, you've got this interesting dichotomy going on where you have like, okay, in your family, you've got your parent, you've got your grandma, right? Your grandma's like the most sweet, perfect thing, and like all narratives, potentially. And then like, what about your boss's boss? Or some might say your grand boss, right? That relationship is completely opposite, right? Where your grandma's like, "Hey, sweetie, I baked you a cake today." Your grand boss is like, "It's Friday afternoon, here's a shit sandwich," right? Every time. Your grandma's like, "Here, sweetie, here's $20. Go to the movies." I can't go to the movies on that anymore, but fine. Thank you, Grandma. Your boss is like, "Do you really deserve that $1 an hour this year? Did you really earn it? Did you really work late and try hard?" Okay, fine. And then, you know, your grand boss is gonna be like, or should I say, your grandma's gonna be like, "I love you unconditionally, honey," right? Maybe we've heard that. Not my grandma, I'm actually speaking very anecdotally here. But your grand boss is gonna be like, "Wisconsin's actually an at-will employment state, so it is not unconditional in the relationship." Okay, so moving on. I want to talk about something I like. So I've talked about a couple of negative things so far. Who watches some dating shows? Come on. Who loves to waste their time watching some television that will never value them in any way? Perfect. Woo! Yeah, there we go. Okay, so how interesting is it how they cast, right? This is like across like all the shows that you watch. The women, okay, these men that are going after these women. It's like the risk that they're facing. It might be like an 8 out of 10, right? Ooh, right? It's like the worst case scenario. Like best case scenario is like they've got like the perfect woman, not a 10 out of 10. She's got like 1,000 Instagram followers, fine. And then what are the men that they're casting? It's like, okay, you might get a master manipulator. That could be one choice. Or on the other side, the other guy that they're up against is like, a pre-serial killer. Or worse, he might be a cop. Okay. It just gets worse as you watch these episodes. And then I'm like, this isn't gonna work out. How's this gonna work out, right? But then immediately they find their person and they're like, this is so real. He has such a great connection. I've been with my fiance for 10 years. I don't even tell him it's real. We're still working on this. Like I still got some boxes to check, I think. And then kind of like when you're rounding it out, the relationship's like gonna work out or whatever, the reunion's gonna happen, so we'll see later that they divorce. But they're gonna be like, I can't wait for my kids to see this one day. How sweet. You want to see your kids watch Daddy gaslight Mommy for the first time? I guess that's something. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. That's all I have.
Let's chatter time! Another lady. Are you digging the ladies tonight? Yeah. Let's bring another lady up. Make some noise for Raina. Keep it going for her.
Look, I totally missed that handshake. You know, that has that awkward, like, oh, yeah. Yeah. All right. What's up, my niggas? Yeah! People are always like, is that okay? Can she say that? Is she enough? Is she half? Or is she like a 76%? I'm actually all the way, believe it or not. The ambiguous situation I have here, people are like, black people are always like, your mom, she lied to your dad. There's no way you're black. Both parents, and white people are like, it's okay. Which one of your parents is white? Like, neither. I had one man tell me one time, like, well, at least you're not like that ghetto black. And I'm like, damn, what is that? Damn. So, now that we're past that, it's always like the elephant in the room. There's different levels to being black. You know what I'm saying? You have your like light to medium ghetto black people, where I like to call myself. I fall in that situation. You know, you like to go places and have some ratchet music, a ratchet situation, but with classy people. You know, people who know how to act. Then you have your high intensity ghetto people. You can't take them no fucking where. They ruin every goddamn situation. And when they act up in public, all black people be ashamed. Like, God damn, why they gotta be acting up right now? We out here. And then you have your black people who don't know that they're black. They wear Vans, chain on their wallet, put water in their hair. It's not working. You need some product. And to be black, for me, I have a huge family. I come from I have about 20 aunts and uncles, 30 maybe. So I just lost a cousin on Monday, 20 years old, gun violence. I know. Everyone's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I'm sorry too. But you know how sometimes people are like, oh my God, I just lost a cousin. He was such a good guy. He wasn't. Can we ever keep it real about the situation? You know these moms on the news are like, my baby, he was such a good man. Was he really? Y'all, my cousin was 20 years old. He had 11 years of a record. Breaking and entering. car theft, robbery. They robbed an old woman at gunpoint. Like a 96-year-old woman at gunpoint. What the fuck do you think she gonna do to you? Hit you with her cane? Stealing cars. He was 20 years old, y'all. He has 6 baby mamas. 11 kids. You know how sometimes they be like, it wasn't his time. I think it might have been his time, y'all. It might have been his time. And this my cousin. You know how sometimes they be like, that man, he had to go because he was too good for this earth. He was too bad. Satan called his son home. Y'all, we gotta keep it real sometimes. He had nothing. Y'all might have met his nice victim. What the fuck you mean? Damn. And then my auntie is all like, I can't believe my baby. You can't believe it. You can't believe. He done robbed everybody in this goddamn city. What the fuck you mean you can't believe it? She's trying to get us together to write his obituary. He ain't even, she like, let's just say this. He ain't even graduate from high school. What the fuck we gonna say in a fucking obituary? Yeah, he was here. He did some shit. He was cute. Well, there's nothing else. He ain't contribute shit to life. Let's keep it real sometimes, y'all. She like, and we need to go start a GoFundMe. A GoFundMe, all he wore was diamonds and Louis Vuitton. Call Louis. Have that nigga contribute to his shit. What you mean? A GoFundMe? Where his clothes at? Let's sell some of that shit. Y'all got my nerves with this bullshit. He out here shining every damn day, and now you trying to say how he was such a good kid. Let's start a movement for gun violence. He was the gun violence. We ain't got one less criminal out of here. Rest in peace, cuz. Shit. What the fuck? Let's keep it real. And then, because my cousins make fun of me, my black side. They're always like, you act like one of them white people when it comes to them damn dogs. Y'all, I have 3 Yorkies. 3 little cute Yorkies. They like, do you want to get his dogs? Y'all. Oh, do I? The dog's got gold teeth. He got 2 cane corsos and a pit bull. What the fuck I'm gonna do with them goddamn criminals? They was raised in the back alleyway. I can't take them goddamn dogs. I live in an apartment in Brookfield. What? Them dogs bad as shit. They gonna kill my dogs. You all gonna take them fucking dogs. That's the problem with black people with animals. White people treat animals on a different level. They'd rather see a black man die than a golden doodle cry. You understand what I'm saying? White people love. See, I'm that same way, so I get made fun of that. I've been raised with a dog since I've been born. You always had a dog in your life. You can't help but you love your dog like you love a child. So I'm like, hell no, I want his goddamn dogs. My dogs, I have 3 little Yorkies. They can't do shit with that. And he literally has raised his dogs outside. I have a cousin. She like, oh, I got this new little dog. I'm so happy. She's posting her dog on social media. I got this new little puppy. He's so cute. The dog starts shitting, as a dog will do. Pissing. Throwing up, doing all types. You giving the people food. He's 6 months old. You feeding him fucking smothered chicken. Somebody come get this motherfucking dog on my goddamn house. I thought the dog was so cute. You were so proud of him. What happened? The dog is outside on a leash. She like, this is an outside dog. I'm like, why the fuck you got this dog outside? We live in Wisconsin. You can't leave this dog outside. It's an outside dog. It's a toy poodle. The fuck you mean it's an outside dog? it went from cute posts about the dog to somebody come get this dog for sale. $20. Something wrong with this dog. It keeps shitting in my house. Ain't nothing wrong with the owner though, who ain't trained a damn dog. Come get this goddamn dog. I said, that's fucked up. And why are we all so prejudiced like that? Because I was telling this story last week. I went to this Asian restaurant, and the lady that owns the restaurant was like, I love your purse. I had a Louis Vuitton purse. She like, I love your bag. I love it. She kept telling me, I love your bag. When everyone has cleared out the walkway, she like, it's a fake, right? I said, no, this ain't fake. This is a real deal, babe. What the fuck you mean? She like, it's a baddie expensive. I know, not Betty much pay for this motherfucker. What the fuck you mean? She like, oh, how much it cost? So I tell her how much it was. She look it up online. Like, you right. That's how much it costs. She like, it's Betty expensive. I'm like, and I very much pay. I'm like, damn, why I gotta be the bitch with the fucking fake bag? God damn. You would have just asked Mary Lee, who was just in this motherfucker, that she have a fake bag. Don't do that shit to me. But I said, you know what? When I was choosing, I had a nanny for my dogs. You know, I be gone on the road. I'm a hairstylist. I'm a traveling hairstylist. So I was choosing a nanny for my dogs, and she also told me that she could, like, clean my house and do all the extra stuff. So I was like, perfect. But I was on care.com, and I was looking for people, and these women that responded to me, there was first a white lady, and I was like, well, she looks nice, but she's white. She gonna be all in my goddamn business. Bitch gonna be asking me 1,000 questions. How did you get to Brookfield? How did you make it from the hood? Like, who said I started there? Goddamn. Then I see this black chick, and I'm like, her name is La Keishiana. She gonna steal my shit. Racist as hell, right? Bitch, she steal. Love. Anybody with love, you know they stealing some shit. And then there was Adriana. I said, oh, it's love at first sight. I interview her. I'm like, does this seem like something you can handle? She like, yes. Do you want this job? She like, yes. I said, are you racist? Yes. You're hired. She don't speak no goddamn English. She ain't gonna bother me at all. That's my time.
Just a couple of quick announcements. If you think you are funny and you want to try stand-up, Tuesday we have the improv class starting at 6:30. Next week, Thursday, in this very room at 6:30. You want to give it a shot. First night is free. Come check it out. Can we get a big round of applause for everybody who's seen it? We're going to get everybody back up here, but I know some of you got to get to work. So if you want to hang around and take pictures and that sort of thing, but I'm going to take a break for just a minute if you need to get to work or something. And you guys were wonderful. One more time.